US President Donald Trump and his growing willingness to impose American power on the world. After declaring himself the acting president of Venezuela, Donald Trump is now acting like the dictator of Greenland, saying that he will take the Arctic island one way or another. And how does he justify it? Well, speaking with reporters, Trump said, and I quote him, "If we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will, and I'm not letting that happen." This despite the fact that neither Russia nor China has ever laid a formal claim onto Greenland.
Right now, we are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not, because if we don't do it, Russia or China will take over Greenland, and we're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor. I would like to make a deal, the easy way, but if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way. Because if you take a look outside of Greenland right now, there are Russian destroyers, there are Chinese destroyers and bigger, there are Russian submarines all over the place. We're not going to have Russia or China occupy Greenland, and that's what they're going to do if we don't.
For months now, Trump has argued that controlling the mineral-rich Danish self-governing territory is critical to U.S. national security, citing increased Russian and Chinese military activity in the Arctic. Trump has also said that he would be open to making a deal with Greenland, but that one way or the other, United States will take Greenland. These threats have rattled Denmark and alarmed the European allies. European leaders have voiced shock at the American president's rhetoric over an island that holds strategic importance between North America and the Arctic, and where the United States has maintained a military base since World War II. Just a little background here. Greenland was a Danish colony until 1953. It gained home rule in 1979 and has since debated eventual independence from Denmark. But does that mean they will join the United States? Well, according to latest reports, the vast majority of the population and political parties say that they do not want to be under American control, insisting that Greenlanders alone must decide their future. But this is a position that the US president has continually challenged. He's even mocked Greenland's defenses, saying, and I quote, "You know what their defense is? 2 dog sleds." He's warned that Russia and China, on the other hand, have, quote, "destroyers and submarines all over the place." And just last week, Denmark's Prime Minister, Mette Frederiksen, had issued a stark warning, saying any attempt by the United States of America to take Greenland by force would shatter 80 years of transatlantic security ties. But Trump waved off the warning, saying that if it affects NATO, it affects NATO, and that Greenland needs US much more than we need them. Trump has also claimed that he had saved NATO by pressuring allies to increase defense spending, and said that he was working to end Russia war in Ukraine. But it's not just Greenland that has been caught in Trump's crosshairs. In just 2025, Donald Trump had reportedly ordered 626 missile strikes worldwide, 71 more than those carried out by his predecessor, Joe Biden, over an entire 4-year term. And these strikes have spanned multiple regions, with targets including Venezuela. Yemen, Syria, Iraq, Somalia, Nigeria, Iran, they've all suffered American missile strikes. The US military has also conducted several operations in the Caribbean waters, off the coast of Venezuela and Colombia. These strikes aimed at alleged drug trafficking vessels. They're reported to have killed more than 100 people. While Iran remains a key focus of the administration, President Trump has also issued warnings towards Cuba, Colombia, and Mexico. Following the abduction of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro, he's further threatened additional strikes in Nigeria, saying that they would be aimed at protecting the Christian community from terror groups. Donald Trump has also entered a diplomatic dispute with South Africa, claiming without evidence that a white genocide is taking place there. And then, of course, there is Greenland, an ally. The coming days would prove decisive for Greenland's future. On Wednesday last week, the foreign ministers of Denmark and Greenland They had met, and in fact, they will meet the U.S. Secretary of State this week, Marco Rubio, in Washington, and a delegation of American senators, including Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski. They're set to visit Copenhagen. Murkowski posted on social media platform X, and I quote, "We have a lot to do in 2026. Taking Greenland shouldn't be on that list," unquote. The question now is, as NATO faces one of its most serious tests from within in decades, what can Europe and the alliance actually do to stop a US president from trying to claim an ally's territory?